Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show. It's Expresso right here on SABC3. Now, the Lion King fever gripped the world like crazy this past year. And funny man Alan Committie is following suit with his brand new one-man stand-up comedy show, The Lion King Circle of Laugh, currently playing at Cape Town's Theatre on the Bay. And he urges you to come along because if you're lucky, he will perform the entire opening sequence from the movie solo and play all. That's
Only
wonderful.
if you're lucky.
But listen, I
Do you
play
want to give us a
No, I
snippet?
can't. No, I refuse to. But I will say this. No, I'm sorry. But I will say this. I'll play all the animals except the quagga because of legal reasons, and that's very important.
Okay.
I say that up front.
All right.
I'm in a loincloth, but it's not my loincloth.
Oh.
Okay.
And I don't wear it in a place where you'd think I wear it.
Oh, wow.
And that's what makes this show really interesting.
Oh, you got
I
us.
can't give you any more
Things we
details,
kinda
but
have
let
to-
that image sit very strongly with you.
Might have to come and uncover that ourselves
That's what she said at one point.
But now, you know, the one thing about you, Alan, is that you always provide such a unique perspective on where the world is going and your place in the world. What kind of things are you reflecting on that have happened in 2019 and you sort of look back at now?
Well, listen, to be fair, this festive season show, I try and always do December, January. It's a brilliant look back at the 12 months and then also to look forward.
Yeah.
With 2020, perfect vision. Is this going to be the year lying ahead? That's sorry to say lying, but that's going to take us into something more spectacular. And of course, you know, we started the year with load shedding. We're ending the year with load shedding.
Yes.
We have load shedding. We don't have load shedding. It is on. We isn't. It's gone from 4 to 6.
Yeah.
They don't ever use 3 and 5 because that would make things sound odd.
Yeah.
So that's very good. At least the government is thinking ahead.
about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I talk about, obviously, the load shedding. The other thing I've tried to do is make connections. This idea of circle of life is to say that I started the show at the beginning of the year doing Richard III, who was a Lion King.
Yes.
And I've ended it with Lion King.
Okay.
And, of course, Lion King was 21 years old this year on Broadway.
Yeah.
And it was the first show I ever saw. And it's based on Hamlet, written by Shakespeare, which is Richard III's author.
It's a whole scientific
it's
numeric
circles
system
within
that you've...
circles.
Yeah.
It's like the circle on Ladies' Mile that they've just introduced, which has 614 entrances and exits. And no one knows how to get in or out. There are people stuck in that circle today
As we speak
who've
right
been
now.
there for 4 months and never been able to get out.
Wow. And here we thought it was just a play on the name. You are a very, very
It
interesting...
works in
I
many,
love
many...
it. I love it. Well, this year gave you a lot of material.
Sure.
Would give any comedian a lot of material. What can we expect from The Lion King Circle of Laugh?
Well, one of the things we've got to now acknowledge is that many years ago, and you're both far too young to remember this, but if you told a lie, that was a thing of great shame and embarrassment.
Oh, yeah.
Now we celebrate it. Fake news, with the dishonesty, the corruption, it's something we put front and center.
Yeah.
And, you know, I always say this idea that facts are forever, but truth is fashionable. What's true for us today isn't necessarily going to be truth for us tomorrow.
Yeah.
Here's an example. I don't know, how much milk might you drink in a day? When I was growing up, you used to have 8 or 9 glasses of milk an hour.
Wow.
We would have our own cow. Every home had their own cow.
Yeah.
And when I would leave the house, my mother would say, "Don't forget your jersey." And
Sorry, where did you grow up with cows for every home?
Yes.
I was trying to understand.
You see, you got your jersey. You're still thinking about the home and the cow.
I was like, I mean,
I grew up in Thunderbell Park, which in Joburg. Yeah, it'll be lovely when they finish it. This was it was a town that was so small when we had the marathon. You just jogged on the spot.
Yeah.
But so this idea of fashionable truths, I look at relationships because I think that's the one place where we see a lot of, not necessarily deceit, but you couch your truth. You can't always say what you know, when someone says to you, "Oh, I look really ugly in this photograph." You don't really go, "No, that is exactly what you look like." You can't say that.
Yeah.
You've got to give a kind of more friendly answer. And so how do relationships work? I was lucky enough to do Defending the Caveman for so many years.
Yeah.
And so I've been observing how do men and women work. We speed date now.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, your first date, you would just walk on a park in sunlight, not even in the same direction. You just meet, and then that was
and
it.
that's it.
Second date, maybe a gentle push on the swing.
Yeah.
For today, second date, you're swinging.
Yeah.
Whoa!
I'm not wrong, though. Do you know what I mean? Things have speeded up quite a lot. So I unpack a little bit of that.
Well,
Listen,
this is
the
a very
show...
interesting show. Yeah, the show. It's called The Lion King.
Yes.
It's quite an inspired name, it sounds
Bless
like.
you.
Will you be lying to audiences?
That's the job of the comedian. It's not necessarily to lie, but to couch truths in new ways.
Yeah.
And so you embellish a little bit. But everything I say is based in truth or not.
Yes. Yeah.
It's based in absolute lies.
Or not.
And I think that that's
Exactly.
what is so refreshing, because if there's one thing that we've probably dealt with a lot is not being able to necessarily just say what's on your mind.
Right.
You've constantly got to be so careful of stepping on people's toes.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where you come in. You
Yeah.
can tell it like it is and just
Well, the
you know,
nice,
take
I
it
mean,
as it
in the old
comes.
days, the court jester used to tell the king exactly what the story was.
Yeah.
But he would always do it as a joke, as a
Yeah.
laugh.
Yes.
And the king wanted to get angry, but then realized, no, I need to hear
joke.
that
Yeah, yeah.
perspective as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the modern day comedian gets to do. You
love
stand
it.
on stage, or he or she can share exactly, as you say, speak the truth that no one else will,
Yes.
Yeah.
but couch it hopefully in a way that gives it a fresh perspective.
What do you think audiences are going to take out of the show?
Hopefully lots of laughter, stomach muscles that have been
Wonderful.
overworked,
Yes.
and fantastic energy into the new year, because we need to laugh.
I love it.
I think people we've stopped being connected as a world.
Yeah.
Everyone's become quite tribal and
Yeah.
closed in, and
Yeah.
it's me versus them and
Yes.
binary.
And we take offense so easily.
Oh, so easy.
Can we
Everything.
calm down? just a little?
Exactly.
Well, this is
So-
beautiful. There's so many stories in the country every single day, and they all culminate in this show coming out, The Lion King. It's
Circle
called The
of
Circle of
Love.
Love. It's currently on at the theatre on the Bay until the 25th of Jan. Of course, tickets start from $100. Bookings are essential. You can make them or buy tickets on computicket.com. I think it's going to be the show to watch.
Oh, no, look at that.